What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I do my 10,000 steps today. Your boy out here early getting them steps in. Your boy done already got his vote done. And, just gonna keep it moving with the day. I still gotta get in the gym, and I got a few other moves I gotta make. But we getting stuff checked off the list early. I tried to slide in and get an oil change today, but my mechanic said, I need you to come tomorrow. So I was trying to be super productive today, just get as much as I possibly can. What can you do? I'm gonna get about 99% of the stuff I want done. So it's still gonna be a highly productive day. Shout out to you guys, my subscribers. I appreciate you very much. I very much thank you for joining me for the ride along. Tried to grab one of those, what is it? What are them floaty things that you blow the flour and the little white stuff goes in there? Actually, I don't think I ever knew what those were called, but whatever. I was trying to grab one and I couldn't. The wind was blowing it away from my hand. But shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all very much. Thank you for all of the love you guys give me. Now let's get into the topic at hand, which is Shanquella Robinson. I don't know if you guys remember her. It was a young lady who went on some girls trip and she didn't come back. She ended up being deleted while she was out on this girls trip. She didn't make it back. The women who she was out with came back and they just really wasn't gonna say nothing, man. They was acting real shady. They still acting shady. And it's just never been any real explanation behind what happened to her. You know, she goes on a girls trip, she doesn't come back. I don't even know if the family managed to get her body back even still, because it was a big problem with that. Her family was just trying to get her body back here, and it was a bunch of red tape with that. So it's a really unfortunate situation. But there was a video that has surfaced, because these ratchet chicks that do ratchet stuff, and I'm not talking about Shanquella, I'm talking about the ratchet chicks that she was out there with, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit more. But she was being beat up by one of those chicks. There's a video of her, and she seemed to be under the influence of something. I don't know if she had a little bit of cannabis or a little something to drink, but she wasn't moving right. Like she was definitely under the influence of something, and it was her motor skills was off. She was not able to defend herself against the attacks that were being levied against her. She was not really able to defend herself. This is a very disturbing video, and it also had me wondering, how is there a video like this floating about of one of the chicks beating her up and nothing's really being done? This whole thing never really got a resolution. Well, now her family is suing I guess one of the other women that was out there with her, or multiples of the women that was out there with her. I don't know what they hope to gain from this, because if this is a civil matter, I mean, let's be for real here, man. Them type of chicks that be going on these girls trips, they all get a room together and all that, they broke. They don't have any real money to, give the family to satisfy them, so they can get some multi-million-dollar judgment against these individuals, but good luck ever collecting on it. So I don't know, but one of the things that I want to talk about here, for one, I don't like girls trips. I do not think girls trips are a good idea. I think girls trips are stupid for multiple reasons. When you get a group of women going out of town together and they are not under the protection of a man, a lot of stupid stuff happens that otherwise wouldn't happen. When you're a woman and you're traveling with other women, you are more likely to be the victim of something while you're gone. If you're traveling with your man Simply a man being there with you, that inherently is going to deter 90% of the potential BS that you would run into. Just having a man there. The man don't even have to be no big, strong, burly guy, anything like that. Just the presence of you being there with a man is going to deter a lot of things. Now, why is that? It's because women, you know, when it comes to going out on trips, women seem to exercise the poorest judgment. I don't even mean that to be funny. This is just straight up observation, no feelings attached, just keeping it a buck. When women are out there, out and about traveling, they seem to exercise the poorest judgment. So then you have that. They oftentimes lack situational awareness to an absurd degree. Just absolutely no awareness of their environment, what's happening around them, who's standing close to them. This is how you end up with situations where, you know, a pill gets dropped in somebody's drink and stuff like that. That happens more than you would think, because it doesn't always get reported, but it does happen, and it happens quite often because they know that girls just want to have fun. So oftentimes women, it's like they're ignorant to just how dangerous the world is. You know, they're used to having a gentler handling, you know, overall. So they're kind of oblivious to just how dangerous the world is. So they think that just going out there, oh, let's just have fun. Let's go travel or whatever. And it oftentimes lands very badly for the people involved. So in the case of Shanquella Robinson, she not only went on a girls trip, but she also made the mistake that a lot of women do, which is traveling with chicks that don't even like them. In many cases, women be traveling with other women that hate their guts, that cannot stand them, just because they want to have people along for the girls trip. So you go out of town, you go to Mexico. I think that's where they went. You go to Mexico with people that hate your guts, and their laws are not the same as ours. You know, I mean, you can't just delete somebody and get away with it. But as you can see in this case, it's a lot harder to prosecute stuff like this when it's international, especially since they already came back home. And I don't think the U.S., correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the U.S. extradites people to Mexico. If there's some alleged crime that happened in Mexico, I'm not sure if the U.S. will extradite them to Mexico. Now, I think Mexico will extradite people here. Well, no, I don't know. It seems like they play fast and loose with that, you know, because I've seen circumstances where people from Mexico be brought over here through not the usual means, but they'll get them here. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember Andrew Luster, and I'm not trying to get too far off subject, but just giving an example. Andrew Luster, you know, he was doing the goofy stuff that he was doing with the taping girls, the drugging them, and he was over in Mexico, and Dog the Bounty Hunter went and found him over there and got him back over here. So I've seen ways where when they're over in Mexico, they get brought back over here. But I haven't really seen any scenarios where they're over here and they get taken back over there. So the girls, they're already back here. So it's unlikely that they're ever gonna face any criminal charges for what they did. It's just a really sad thing because, you know, the girl seemed like she had a really good head on her shoulder. You know, she seemed very, very productive, you know, just kind of a doer. And people are haters. They can't stand when you trying and they're not. They can't stand when you have stuff going on for yourself and they don't. You really be having haters in your midst. And a lot of times women have haters in their midst and they ignore it. They own girlfriends be some straight up haters and they're fully aware of this and they ignore it. I mean, they girlfriends be a hater to just an absurd degree. I've told y'all before, damn near every woman that I've been with in my life, one of her girlfriends tried to get at me. So, you know what I mean? Like this is how shady that they be. And they be knowing that their girlfriend is a snake. Because the girlfriend beat and did some of this snake shit to some other chick in their circle. And they still choose to ignore this behavior and hang out with them anyway. So I don't understand why women do that. I guess, you know, if there's a woman who's watching this who can kind of help me out with that and explain a little bit, help me to understand why it is that women seem to keep haters around them and ignore all types of red flags when dealing with women. You won't ignore red flags with a dude. A dude can give you the ick real quick, but all the blatant bad behavior signs when it comes to women, they just totally get ignored. So yeah, there's some woman watching this that can help me understand better why that is. I would absolutely love to get your perspective on that, but it's a bad situation that's gotten an update, but the update to it, I just don't see where it's gonna go. I mean, yeah, something is happening with the lawsuit, but it sounds like something that's civil. And if you suing some broke bitches for money, you know, what are you gonna gain from it? They broke bitches, you know. So I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.